I'm 42. My libido's through the roof. I'm enough for 10 women. So you can't possibly be in my house in multiple houses.
Every year I get older, I'm like, what am I going to do?
What is going on?
I have to have sex every day, and I can't.
We got to get married. We got to find a husband so we can just take them down every morning, every night. Even
it doesn't used to be this way.
Yeah, let me take a sip. Ooh, Lord.
Hey, what's going on, my chat room dogs? We gonna get it.
I'm choosing you because I've already felt a comfort in you. So my thing is, if I choose you, I trust you. If I don't trust you, I'm not choosing you. So once I choose you and I see that you want to be chosen obviously back and it's reciprocal, then I'm going wide open. That could be a week, a day, a couple weeks. I don't think it takes a month. That's too long. I think
to be transparent with someone?
About how, let me tell you why, because
what kind of transparent,
let's say about the abandoned little girl that's in me.
Okay.
This is why we got to be careful about taking information from women that don't know what they're talking about. Women that have a lot of struggle, a lot of issues. And if you're not actually rooted in the game and you're taking advice from people who are not rooted in themselves, it's going to do some damage to you. So let's go ahead and check this out. Here we go.
Okay. I think after a couple weeks, if you're feeling somebody, you need to be honest.
If we go on a couple dates and because we're grown at this point, if we lock in chemistry, we go on 2 or 3 dates, we almost start to see each other as much as we can.
Right.
And that's kind of like the trajectory of dating.
Wait. This is exactly why I say to a lot of you guys out here when it comes to dating. If y'all listen to one of the last shows we did live, we've got to stop dating and start leading to more sexual tension. What do you mean 2 or 3 dates? Wait. We're having 2 or 3 dates, and what are we going to be talking about on those 2 or 3 dates? What are we doing right here? I guess it just doesn't make any sense to me why we would do 2 or 3 dates and we're not smashing. Like we're doing 2 or 3 days, but what are we doing? We're just hanging out. So I'm gonna do 2 or 3 days so I can hear your attitude and hear your trauma. Nah, man, we're not doing that, man. That's crazy.
Right?
But also that's a good thing to put on it though, is we are grown.
Right.
Like I don't know if this conversation necessarily applies to a 23-year-old.
Yeah, I did at 23.
You did at 23?
At 23. My first engagement was 23. And not only did I verbally say it, but I think at 23, my actions more showed it because I didn't have enough self-awareness at 23 to say, listen, I'm an abandoned little girl and I'm going to look crazy as hell half the time.
Right.
Because at 23, I just was figuring out that I had abandonment and I'm figuring out what unconditional love looks like. And he's trying to figure that out with me. So my behaviors.
No. There is, okay, guys, we're not figuring anything out. We're going to know. And you really just have a choice. You're going to rock with me or you're getting out. You're going to change your attitude. There's the door. You do not, guys, have to deal with her trauma and her abandonment. I'm not saying that you're not there to listen. But if that trauma and that abandonment is going to come between me and my life and my world and how I move, then you have got to get out. You cannot bring disruption to my world. We're not doing that. It's not going down that way. What are we doing?
'Cause you're too much of a man. I'm not a good woman. Try to understand. I'm old and I can't keep a man.
Really exhibited abandonment and trauma. And he was just like this really good guy from this really great family. And, not that he was perfect, but he didn't have as much trauma as my butt had. And he was just like, look, I'm just trying to love the hell out of you and facilitate you. And I'm not leaving you. And I was just like, rah, rah, rah. And he's just like, but I love you. I'm not going nowhere, but I'm here. But I still want to marry you. But I still want to be with you. But I'm here. I sleep on the door. I sleep on the balcony. I'm here. Like, I'm not leaving. If you lock the door, I'm sleeping at the door. Like, and this is...
Gentlemen, the thing we teach you all the time is to love yourself, man. Y'all got to love yourselves. Y'all got to love yourselves in this game, man. Y'all can't let women make y'all feel less than. You're emperors and you're kings, man. I got to
D1 college football player. This ain't no just regular little, not with all due respect, little L7.
Oh man, she's so hood. She called him an L7, a square. She called him an L7. Oh man, she's so hood, man. She's so hood. She's so hood. She just called him an L7, guys, and she just called him a square. She just that was some hood talk. She just called him an L7. L7.
This is a dude who, black and white dude, handsome. I mean, he's in demand. Women want him. He's not just some regular Joe Blow. But he was what I needed at that time, because I needed to have somebody, Joy, who I knew, or who God knew could prove to me that abandonment wasn't the only way. And that somebody can stick it through. Somebody can be there with me, that really does exist. Even if we didn't make it to forever, I needed to know that somebody had my back. No matter how crazy I acted, somebody loved me unconditionally, and that unconditional love was real. How did I know he loved me unconditionally? Because of the advice that I'm giving you and everyone else here. I took my chest and I opened up and said, bro, look at it. Look at my scar.
Oh my God, look at your wounds, look at your heart. You're shattered, then bye. What are we doing? Okay, gentlemen, I tell you guys the most dopest thing. From Vasali's with King. He looked at somebody as the king, and he said to that person, and it was the most beautiful thing. You say nothing and you do nothing, which means you are nothing. So this begs the question, what is a nothing doing in my court? And I'm not being mean to call her nothing, but we cannot allow women to move and talk like this and entertain nothings and nobodies. We've got to stop doing that.
Look at my wounds. Look at my heart. It's shattered. It's broken. Look at my vulnerability. There's abuse over here. There's trauma over here. There's heartbreak over here. There's neglect over here. I'm crazy as hell over here. I'm going to be insecure over here. I'm going to fuck around and completely dismantle you.
Oh my God. What do we do? Dismantle you? You're gone. We're done. We can't have it. There is no relationship. Guys, they're allowed to feel what they want to feel, but y'all guys don't have to deal with this. I don't know why you guys feel that you've got to deal with a woman that is not only disrespectful, but wants to move like this. This is not ladylike. This is not Claire Huxtable.
I'm finna emasculate you over here. What's up? You want it? Now, if you've already made those decisions, no, you're not doomed, but you got to learn how to reprogram. You got to learn how to go from brokenness to peace. You got to take your broken pieces, make peace from it, and do something different. You can't sit up and say, well, I did what I did. I'm giving the best I can, and then continue to do the same rhetoric. It's just not going to work. Why do you think our community is the brokest community that there is? Because we don't family. We don't commune. That's why, period. We are the brokest people on earth, not in the United States of America, in the world, because we're not marrying, because we have 5 houses that are homeless. And if you go further with even saying you dating 5 women, well, you can't even satisfy 5 women as one man. I'm 42, my libido's through the roof. I'm enough for 10 women. So you can't possibly be in my house in multiple houses.
Every year I get older, I'm like, what am I going to do?
What is going on?
I have to have sex every day and I can't.
We got to get married.
Oh
we got to find a husband so we can just
husband.
take him down every morning, every night. Even
it doesn't used to be this way.
Yeah,
I'm
let
like,
me take a sip.
Yeah,
Oh, Lord have mercy.
It's warm in here.
Well, gentlemen, I will definitely say this to all you young men out here when it comes to marriage, and this is something I'm dead serious. Gentlemen, you don't need to get married, and you don't need to be in a relationship. I've always told you young men out there, the only time you should be married and the only time you should have some kind of relationship is at the end of the day if you're looking at your legacy, if you're looking at your bloodline, that's the only time. That is the only time. Here we go.
It got very hot right now.
Relatable.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah,
It's
that's the best part. Yeah.
Disconnect. I'm not talking about this. I'm going to work out. Call me when the conversation is, when I'm not negotiating this.
No.
I'm not doing it. Period.
I agree. I 100% agree.
And that's the number one thing for me that makes me so apprehensive about choosing somebody. Because we obviously both have a plethora of options. That's common sense. Is if I see, and this is where my abandonment is. This is where my abandonment is, y'all. If I see a mustard seed, that small, smaller than a mustard seed, inclination that you even thought, look like you want to pivot for anything that happens, sabotage. I'm out of here.
I am not going to sit here and waste my time with a woman that's not worthy of me. We don't move that way as men. I have no idea what she's talking about. I have no idea what she's thinking, but this is crazy. Men don't move, and men don't think and act this way, gentlemen. Not like this. This is not. If it's time to go, it's time to go. And I'm being dead ass serious, gentlemen. If it's time to go, it's time to go. And I don't want y'all to feel that you have to stay. There's no rule, gentlemen, that you have to stay. If it's time for you to go, guys, you can go. You can go. I'm dead ass serious. You don't have to stay.
Out of here. Out of here. If I can't feel that you are riding through any and everything, and I'm talking about everything, you can call it toxic, dysfunctional, unhealthy, you gonna ride through everything, I'm not walking down no aisle. We can have a great companionship, we can travel, we can be best friends, we can have great lovemaking. I will baby honey daddy you to death. I may cook and bring you food. You can do the same for me. I'm not doing it. Because marriage for me means a family. And I'm not co-parenting with anybody outside of my marriage. There's co-parenting within a marriage. Mm-hmm. I'm not doing that outside of my marriage.
I could not agree more. I have no notes. I think that people, when they pick partners, and this is how I think about, picking a permanent partner, to what you're saying, like, we're going to die together. Sorry.
Period. Right.
I'm never doing it again. Like, if we're not going to die together, what the fuck are we doing? Let's just go to Paris and have a good, fun weekends. The libido is high, eat some shopping, eat some escargot.
I think this is, I think the problem with a lot of women is that they think that they think it's a partnership. I don't have partners as women. My partners are my boys. What's up? That's my partner over there. But my woman is not my partner. I am the decision maker. I'm the leader. That's just what it is. And any gentleman, if you have a roster, whether you have a roster, you don't have a roster, you're leading, you're king, you're emperor. This is not 50-50. And if a woman cannot understand that, there's nothing wrong. Listen, bring in your ideas. I bring in my ideas, but I'm making the final decision. We're not going to agree on that. Now, there will be times, gentlemen, that you might ask, okay? So if you are bad with taxes or something like that, right? And you bring your taxes over and she knows how to manage, like she's real good with filling out taxes and all that other stuff, then by all means, you go ahead and take care of the taxes. But I'm still running things because after we're done, I'm looking at the books to understand, okay, this is what's going on. I'm showing you these things. So there's not going to be a partnership. I think that's where all this is going wrong. She's talking partnership. This is crazy.
Have some champagne. But if we're actually doing this, we have to be aligned on a whole bunch of things.
Absolutely.
And we can change our minds. We can adjust the goals. But the communication has to be that we're going into this with these aspirations. Not financially. Not acquiring things. Not that. It's just that every decision that I make, and you make, we consult each other on it. We understand that this person came here with this goal and you came with this goal. And whatever that goal is, if the goal is make $1 billion, fuck it. That was our goal going in. If it's not, we don't want to do that anymore. We want to just live how we're living. Fine. But a partner to me is all encompassing.
All that.
Everything in your life.
I agree.
And I feel like a lot of people want to have a wedding, but not a marriage.
Yeah, I talk about that. People choosing the marriage and not the person. I'm choosing you because I've already felt a comfort in you. So
oh my gosh, what are we doing? what are we saying here? Gentlemen, this is why you have to be careful about who teaches you about this game, especially someone that doesn't have anything, that makes all these demands of you and say that you got to bend and break and kiss ass and all this other stuff. That's not manly. But guys, I want to know what you guys think, man. This is crazy, but I just want to show you, man, we had to react to this thing because I cannot believe that these two women here are sitting around here trying to make all these decisions, and there's no man in either of their lives, and yet they're trying to tell women how to get men when they don't even have men themselves. So how can women who can't even keep or get a man try to teach other women how to get men? That doesn't make any sense. Ladies, if you want to learn how to get a man, always remember, it takes a thief to catch a thief. I've always been saying that. So it takes a thief to show you how not to get played. Learn from a man. Don't learn from a woman who doesn't know what she's talking about. This doesn't make any sense. This is crazy, man.